Y'all, this is the Variety Kid, and today we're going to talk about what I'd change about the upcoming iPads. So I would release two iPads. I would release the budget iPad, which is just called iPad, which I don't really think that's right. And then there's the iPad mini. I would actually increase the iPad mini size, which I'll be getting to. But anyways, we're going to talk about what I would change. So first, so in most ways, I would make the iPad mini better than the budget iPad, because obviously it's a budget iPad, even though the budget iPad is bigger. But anyways, let's get into it. So I would add the A11 Bionic on both. Actually, this is one of the three main ways that I would make it better. There might be some other ways, but however, iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and 10, the A11 Bionic is 2.39 gigahertz. I would make it 2.39 gigahertz for the iPad Mini 5, while for the budget 9.7 iPad, I would make it 2.41 gigahertz, so slightly faster than the standard amount. I would put 3 gigabytes of RAM on both. And then for the screen, I would do a 10-inch screen on the iPad, on the budget 2019 iPad, and an 8.4-inch screen on the, would it be about the same size as the predecessors, so it would have a smaller iPad Mini 5, and I would also bump up the pixel density by increasing the resolution enough, not only so that it'll match the pixel density, but that it'll be a little bit higher. The haptic touch feature that is found on the iPhone XR onto both of the iPads, but however, I would only add the Liquid Retina and the True Tone to the iPad Mini 5. I would do 32, 128, and 256 for the budget iPad, and then I would do and then I would do 64, 128, and 256 for the iPad Mini 5. I would add a 12 megapixel camera with an f2.0 aperture, dual LED flash. There would be wide color capture for photos and live photos, at least on the rear camera. I would add optical image stabilization at least to the 10-inch model. If I said 9.7 inch, it's actually 10-inch, which I think I said 10-inch. The live photos would have stabilization on the rear camera, which actually the iPad Mini 4 didn't have live photos at all, while the budget iPad of 2018 only had live photos just without stabilization. For the there would be a 5 megapixel front camera on the 10-inch iPad, while there would be a 7 megapixel camera on the 8.4-inch iPad. There would be Face ID on both instead of Touch ID, and then there would be a true depth camera system. There would be some features on the budget iPad 9.7, set like I would add Animoji and augmented reality on the front camera and also on the rear camera. But however, there would be no portrait mode, whereas all of the features on the true depth camera system would be on the iPad Mini 5. There would be continuous autofocus video, as well as autofocus and tap to focus with focus pixels. I know, I was kind of messing up there. I would add 1080p video at 120 frames per second, but however, if there was less than 2 gigabytes of storage available, I would only do 720p, and I would let the person videoing be aware of that, and 720p at 240 frames per second, while on the iPad Mini 5 I would also add 4K at 24 and 30 frames per second. I would add water resistance to both, but so I would add on the iPad Mini 5, I would add water resistance IP67, but a lighter version. I would only do 1.5 feet for 30 minutes. Or so a lighter IP67, while on the budget 9.7-inch iPad, I would do IP41, which that means protection against objects greater than 1 millimeter is the 4, and then 1 for the second digit is protection against light rain, and then finally I would increase the battery sizes, although battery life would be about the same, because that's the case for all iPads. I mean, some might be a little bit better than others, but however, they're all roughly the same. I'm actually thinking that whenever I'm able to, I might do an every iPad battery test, But anyways, I would increase the battery size on the iPad 2018 from 8827 milliamps to somewhere from 9118 milliamps to 9326 milliamps, while on the iPad mini 5 I would increase it from 5124 milliamps to somewhere from 5333 milliamps to 5674 milliamps, and I would add 18-watt fast charging on the iPad 2019 only. So I mean, actually battery size, so actually better battery life might be another advantage for the budget 2019 iPad over the iPad mini 5. So there might be 4, and there might be more if I'm able to think of it. Like, I might not add optical image stabilization to the iPad mini 5. I mean, if there's any questions about things I didn't mention, be sure to ask me in the comments, and I will respond for sure if I don't have too many subscribers at the time of asking, because, like, you know, if I have a lot of subscribers, I'll be busy. But however, I mean, I don't want to have your questions unanswered, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and have a nice, I mean, it's night, but have a nice time. Bye.